friends, I'm Rose Oatley, and today we're going to be making a tasty pepper steak in a savory sauce. For my meat, I'm going to be using flank steak. These two packages came already pre-cut into strips. If yours isn't pre-cut, just make sure to cut them into thin strips against the grain. These two packages together total about 2.5 pounds. Place your beef in a large Ziploc bag or a bowl. Next, we're going to be adding half a teaspoon of baking soda. This is going to help tenderize your meat. Add 1 teaspoon of minced garlic. Add 2 tablespoons of low sodium soy sauce. Make sure it's low sodium and not the dark soy sauce. Give it a quick mix so everything's coated in the marinade. Then zip it, and then we're going to be leaving this to marinate for at least 30 minutes, or you can even do it overnight if you prefer. For our veggies, we'll start with 1 onion. I like my pieces to be slightly larger, so I cut 1 end of the onion and then cut 3 slits of onion, and then continue cutting them into slightly larger pieces, just like this. You'll need some bell peppers. I'm going to be using red and green today. If you'd like, you can just stick to one color. And I like to also cut these into slightly larger pieces. Now, if you really wanted to, you could also cut them into thin strips, whatever you prefer. I used 1 green and red medium bell pepper. Then I went into my garden and added 2 small ones to the mix. For your sauce, grab a small bowl, then add 1 heaping tablespoon of dark brown sugar. Add 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. Add 1 teaspoon of minced ginger. This is going to give it a really nice flavor. 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce. You should be able to find this in your Asian aisle of your grocery store. Another important ingredient is sesame oil. This is actually pretty stinky, but it gives it the right flavor. For a very slight kick, I like to add half a teaspoon of sriracha sauce. Next, we're adding 1/4 cup of less sodium soy sauce. Make sure it's the low sodium soy sauce. You don't want to add the dark soy sauce, otherwise you'll be over-salting your dish. To help thicken your sauce, add 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. Add half a cup of beef broth. You can add more to your pan later if needed. All right, so now we just want to whisk this and mix it all together. I like serving my dish with white jasmine rice, so I'm going to go ahead and start boiling 3 cups of water. This will kind of make everything run smooth and on time. To a large pan on medium-high heat, you want to add about a couple tablespoons of olive oil. Then we'll add our veggies. I like to stir fry my veggies before we do our beef. I'm going to go in with a little bit of salt and pepper. You want to saute them for about 3 minutes. You do want a little bit of a crunch to them, so you don't want them too soft. If needed, you can add a little bit more olive oil. Adjust your temp as needed. I think I'm going to turn down my temp to about a 3. My veggies are looking pretty good, so I'm going to go ahead and place them on a plate or a board temporarily. By the time you're done with your veggies, your water's probably already boiling, at least mine is. So we're going to go ahead and add our 2 cups of jasmine rice. Give it a mix, then cover and cook at a number 3 for 15 minutes. Coming back to my main dish, to a hot pan for my beef, I'm going to add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Add your beef and hear it sizzle. I've got quite a bit of beef, but I'm going to spread it out as evenly as possible. High heat is usually best when cooking flank steak. The hotter and quicker it cooks, the less tough it will be. So I usually like to set it at high or medium-high heat. Now the trick to this is not to keep turning it. You want to let it sit for a while so it'll cook and get that nice browning at the bottom. Just watch the side of your beef. When it reaches about 1/4 inch up the side, then it's time to turn it over. Let me see if I can show you real quick the nice browning that I usually look for. Sometimes I like to use my cast iron skillet. This will definitely accomplish this as well. Once you get everything flipped over, you want to go ahead and continue cooking the other side. While it's cooking, we're going to be adding a little bit of salt and pepper. We can always add more later once our sauce is in. And I'm also going to go in with 1 teaspoon of minced garlic. I'm just going to let it sit there for just a bit until I'm ready to mix. Keep an eye on your beef. Make sure that you don't overcook it. If it's slightly red, that's fine because we're going to continue cooking it with our veggies in there as well. Adjust your temp accordingly. I just went ahead and turned my temp down to a number 2. This is looking pretty good, so I'm going to go ahead and start adding my veggies. Once your veggies are in, you can go ahead and start adding your sauce. Give it a quick whisk just in case the cornstarch sticks to the bottom. You want to mix it so everything gets coated in the sauce. I'm going to go ahead and also turn my heat down to low. We're going to cover this up and let it cook for a few minutes so my sauce will thicken as it heats up. It's been about 2 minutes. Let's go ahead and check on our sauce just to make sure everything is thickening pretty well. And it looks like our sauce is doing pretty good. I think at this point, I'm going to add just a little bit more of my beef stock just to add a little more sauce to it. I'm just going to add just a tiny splash of it. And you really don't need very much sauce with your pepper steak. Of course, unless you like a lot of sauce, then you can always even double your sauce if you'd like. My rice has about 2 more minutes left to be done, so I'm going to go ahead and turn this down to low and just let it cook the remaining 2 minutes. Let's check up on my white jasmine rice. It's been cooking for 15 minutes on a number 3. You just want to take a fork and just fluff it up, give it a quick mix. Then I'm going to be adding 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter. We'll add a little bit of salt and pepper to your taste. Give it a mix so your butter will melt, and it's done. This is done. Cover it up until ready to serve. Normally, you serve your pepper steak on a bed of rice, but since I've got my rice here, I just want to show you a quick little way that you can get fancy with other dishes. You just take a small glass container like this or any kind of container that you have, just pack in your rice, and then we're going to put it in our plate or our bowl so you get that nice little decorative mound of rice. Just like this. Ta-da! Let's go ahead and finish serving our pepper steak. And I am telling you, this is smelling so good and tastes so delicious. Why have takeout when you can make it right at home? I really hope you guys give this a try and enjoy it. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, please be sure to do so below or hit my little picture on the side. Also, don't forget to hit the little bell to get notified of all of my new videos. And please be sure to check out these links on the side. Share with your friends. Thanks for watching and your support.